get your mic on, Coach. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fifth Quarter Show. This is week number 3 for us tonight. This is Lee Jaynes, your host, and Adam Baker is always joining me over there. Adam, he got it right, Baker, tonight.
We're trying.
Anyway, we appreciate everybody that's tuned in tonight. We've got some young men that we're going to be recognizing, as well as talking to Coach Aaron Hunter. But before we get started on that, I know a lot of you folks saw it on the Facebook page that we were going to have our trivia question of the week for this week. And these tickets are really important tickets this week because these are homecoming tickets, Coach. And, homecoming's always packed out,
yeah,
so having some reserved seats, like the Hornet Radio reserved seats, are premium to get. So here's your trivia question. And
you stumped me on this one, Lee. I'm not going to lie. I had to dig deep for this one.
Yeah, this is a good one. So here, I'm going to read the trivia question out for you, and you can text in during the live show to 254-216-3574 if you think you have the answer, or you can post the answer on the live stream because we will be looking at that also. And if you have any questions that you'd like to throw up there for Coach tonight, as long as it's a good question, we'll read that live and see if we can put Coach in the hot seat.
Come on.
All right.
Ready.
So here's the question of the night, Coach. Baylor University just honored its 1974 football team last weekend. That team won the Southwest Conference title and had a miraculous 34-24 come-from-behind win over University of Texas. A game later dubbed the Miracle of the Brazos. What former Gatesville high school player who later played in the NFL was a prominent player on the Bears' 1974 team? What former Gatesville high school football player was on that 1974 team?
And it's not Aaron Hunter.
No, it is not. 0%.
So text in your answer or post it on there, and the first person that gets it right wins the tickets. How about that? We're going to change it up a little bit.
Man,
all right,
good.
Let's move on to Coach Hunter, who we have over here in front of our green screen tonight. And we got some young men that we want to recognize tonight, Coach.
Yeah.
And first, let's start off with our impact players. As always, these are players that Adam and I have spotted, not just stat-wise, but just getting their name called out was flying around on the field and making their presence known, and impacted the turnout of the game, as well as the whole team did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole team played wonderful Friday night in Mahia, but these guys right here. And we're going to start off, we got a newcomer tonight. Newcomer. First one up, we're going to bring Grayson Eglin on out.
Grayson Eglin.
Come on out. There he is.
Oh, Eglin.
Right that way.
Yep,
right that way. There you go,
there
right
you go.
there.
Hit the camera.
He's a tall one, ain't he, Coach?
He is a good one. Grayson's a junior, and we've been expecting a lot of big things out of him. Grayson plays both sides of the ball. He plays tight end for us, defensive end. He was actually our defensive MVP. He had a huge night defensively.
Yep.
And our D-line right now, led by Grayson, Dutch, Caden Cobbin, those guys, is really getting after it. And so really proud of him and his growth, and sky's the limit for him. So.
Well, real quick on his stats, he had a pressure on the passer, 12 total tackles, 10 assists, and 2 solo tackles. So you had a really great night out there.
He's flying around, and that's what makes him a little unique. Our D-line right now is we're the fastest we've been. And Grayson's worked really hard, and you can see his size, and we're excited for him to continue to grow and continue to get better.
Well, Grayson, let's make your presence known again against McGregor Friday night and see if we can't have you back on the show. How's that sound?
Yes, sir. He's got like his stone. He's normally smiling, like he's got like this. There you go.
Did you tell your folks you're going to be on here tonight? Yes, sir. All right. Oh, well, hopefully they're watching and they'll get the opportunity to see you on here again. Yeah. Congratulations.
Good to see you, Grayson.
All right. Next, we're going to bring out Mr. Keaton.
Young pup.
The youngest Keaton here.
The youngest Keaton.
Well, not the youngest Keaton.
Not the youngest anymore.
The youngest out of the two playing football. Let's put it that way.
There you go.
Grady has been so close to being on here already the first 2 weeks. He flies around he comes up with some big plays as a freshman.
Big plays.
I think he's really got a good nose for the ball.
Yeah.
And then this Friday night he had a couple of blocks out there. and then eight total tackles, 4 solo, 4 assists.
Yeah, no, great. Grady's been a guy that we knew kind of coming across from 8th grade that, hey, we think he had a chance. And then, I don't know if you remember that first scrimmage versus Lampasas, he comes up with the first pick. And then you go down the list, and every scrimmage he had a pick up to I think last week or Glenrose. Then Taylor, we kick an onside kick, he goes and gets it. And so he's doing things that freshmen don't do.
Yeah.
And so really excited for him, and he works hard all the time just like his brother does. And I'm glad he's a fighting Hornet because he really helps us out.
I think whenever we say freshmen do things that typically they don't do on varsity, that's just good football IQ
Good football.
right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last freshman we had up here was Lawson.
Yep.
So
Yep.
no pressure.
No pressure.
kidding.
Barrow said hi.
He's doing a good job. So
Well,
proud of him.
congratulations on being an Impact player this week, and we hope to see you back here again soon. All right, thanks. Next, let's bring out Mr. Watts.
Dylan Watts.
Dylan Watts.
Dylan, have you been here before?
Sir.
All
He
right.
gets here last week.
Yeah, you're trying to make a habit out of this, aren't you?
He is.
All right, let's see. Mr. Watts here, 12 total tackles, 6 assists, and 6 solo.
Yeah. No, he's
Not too
only
shabby.
getting better. He's only getting better. I kind of said last week, Dylan missed all of last year, broke his collarbone, so he missed pretty much the whole year. Tried to come back late and then re-broke it. So he missed basically a whole year of football. And so we knew the more he plays, the better he's going to get, and that's happening. He's showing out. He's playing safety for us. Plays some running back for us. Hasn't had to play yet, but I'm sure he will throughout the year. But Dylan's a kid that we can hang our hat on back there in the back end, and he's going to fly around and make plays.
Awesome. Hey, congratulations on making it out here again. Can you do a three-peat?
Yes, sir.
I like that. I like that
Yes, sir.
enthusiasm,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Always.
All right. Oh, my gosh. I mean, we're going to have to get this guy a seat on the board or something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying his name. I got tired of saying it Friday and last week. So
All right, Mr. Phillips, come on out.
Amos Phillips.
Come on
he
out.
can
There
just
he
head around
is.
that corner.
He's got quite a bit of these.
Yeah.
You're running out of room there, Amos, and the
Yeah.
season's just getting started.
Yeah.
Hey, I like them shorts, man. I had some of those back in the 80s.
Was it Hawaiian Day today?
Was it
that
Hawaiian Day
yesterday?
today?
No, that's what it is.
Oh, you were.
I like them, man. Mr. Phillips, 13 total tackles. You had one on the PBU there, and 6 solo, 7 assists.
Yeah, really, really good night. And like I've said every week, Amos, I think he's been on every single week. He's on as a captain, and he's on. But he anchors the defense. He plays the Hornet spot, flies around, gets everybody lined up, and it's really good when you have number 10 in the middle of the field making you right. And so, their backs, they were very explosive. Man, it was a very explosive team, and they had explosive runs on everybody that they played until us. I think they ended the night with under 60 yards rushing, and he was a big part of that. So he's a constant right there in the middle.
Yeah, I like the fact that the 13 assisted tackles were usually one where somebody held him up and had the guy just like dead to his rights, and you just came up and cleaned his clock. And there was a couple that looked painful. So
we ain't got him going yet offensively. We're trying to get there. We'll get him the ball and get him going offensively. But he caught the double pass for a touchdown.
He's got a
Second
few
play of the game.
offensive stats that are building up and everything, and pretty soon we'll have a breakout offensive game for
There we
him.
go.
I'm sure that'll be coming.
For Amos.
All right.
Famous
Thanks,
Amos.
Famous Amos. All right, we got another first-timer coming out here.
First time. I'm excited about this one.
All right, we got Mr. Burks joining us tonight.
Jarrett Burks. I don't like what he's wearing, but
Oh, come on now.
hey, come on out. Yep.
Hey, that right there, I got to say this real quick. That team right there made the Gators coach get booed last week. That's all
Literally.
I'm saying. Literally.
they
There's
lost to
also-
Notre Dame. That's all I'm saying.
There's
So
also
moving
a number
along.
one team in the nation. That's all I'm saying. No, Jarrett, man, you can't say enough about him. We recognize him week 1 as a captain. He's played center. Everybody knows the issues we've had with the exchanges.
Yeah.
And nobody's working harder than Jarrett Burks to get it fixed. And like I said, good as gold, works extremely hard. Not a shot at you, but definitely not our most athletic, strong, fast guy. But you wouldn't know how he plays. And that's
Yeah.
fighting Hornet football. So appreciate Jarrett and everything he does.
Well,
centers never get the respect they deserve.
Ever.
Your hands on the ball every play.
Every play.
It starts, good or bad, it starts with you. So, I mean, you don't get the respect you deserve. So, you've done a good job. And he mentioned the improvement through the year, through the season so far. Snaps are getting better.
Yeah.
A few high ones, but, still slowly.
A
Hey,
little bit slower.
but you know what? But you recognize, I was impressed by the fact that you recognized you had to pour one on the field. I mean, as soon as you came off the field, you were over there practicing the snaps. I mean, and so that says a lot about your character, and so good job.
He's getting it fixed. And I'll tell you this, there's a lot of holes for the guy we're about to call up here, and he's a big part of that. He talks to the O-line every play.
That's why he made my choice as Impact Player of the Week. Number one, the improvement on the snaps, and number two, there was a lot of big runs that happened that came right up the middle.
Literally.
You know, and I saw that just play after play, first half and second half.
Yeah.
I mean, that allowed for a ton of rushing yards Friday
well,
night.
and if you watch, every time we get to the line of scrimmage, Jared's telling people what to do. So he gets everybody on track where we're going, who we're blocking to, who we're comboing to, and so he's a huge part of our offense.
Yeah. So congratulations, man. Keep up the improvement and the progress. We recognize.
Yeah. Change your shirt.
Don't listen to him. Hey, after hours, you can wear that. Don't listen to him. All right, tonight, man, the man with the plan. I'm gonna call this guy Captain Explosive.
Yeah.
You know, he just came out of nowhere Friday night and just really lit it up. You know, the questions and comments that were coming in at the beginning of the game, and then everybody was like, no, we're good.
We're good. Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Yep.
I was like, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So let's bring out Mr. Cy Burns.
Cy Burns.
This is a Hornet Radio Player of the Week right here.
It's your shirt, man.
Yeah, and if anybody's watching the green screen behind him right now is his short run. We'll call it a short run because there was still room you could have been, extended out, but.
He only had one that was, 81 yards?
81 yards. They got 80 and a 40 or 50.
Yeah, so we...
19 yards short. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Cy was a guy last year on JV that, when we talk about the undefeated JV team, it was a big reason because of him. And we knew we had something coming. And when you hand him the ball, he's very explosive. He's probably our most explosive kid on the team that can go from a big run. And so...
But he's got some wheels.
He does, what I'm saying. Like, he can make it. He can make moves, and he's very shifty. And, we just haven't got him going.
Yeah.
Ray's had some good games, and then every time he'd go in, it's like they'd do a different front. We miss a block or something. He just hadn't got him going. He had the one run versus Taylor, got called back. But Cy works extremely hard every day in practice, and I'm glad that he finally got to show what he could do Friday night, and I think he's going to do that a lot more throughout the year.
And he definitely showed out. I mean, there's some great runs.
Yeah.
The line did a good job giving you some holes to run through, but...
well, I'm going to tell you, if I remember correctly, on the 81-yard touchdown run, he was hit in the backfield.
Well, he kind of ran into the back of our guy.
The back of a group there.
Yeah, and then bounced it out.
Just bounced it right up the middle and then faded to the right side of the field and just kept on trucking.
No.
And I think when he crossed the end zone, the closest Mejia Black Cat was about 5 yards behind him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got some speed. He's on our 4x1, 4x2 in the track team, and so in size, his brother Corey played for us last year, defensive end. Both those kids work extremely hard, and Cy works extremely hard, and he's earned everything he's gotten. So I'm excited for him to have some success Friday.
Hey, congratulations! You get a hat tip from me, man. That was a heck of a game right there.
Thanks, Cy.
All right. Congratulations to him. And now we're going to switch over real quick. We got bright lights. Anyway.
See y'all.
We're going to go over, I was going to say a little bit of sports news, but man.
Lots.
There's a lot going on. Junior high and high school. First off, big kudos to you and the team for the 35-13 win over Mejia Friday night, and that bumps us to 2-1 right now, coming up for homecoming. And then varsity volleyball, 3-0 against Waco Friday night. So it was a
good night for the Hornets.
Great night for the Hornets, man. Adam, I'll let you go ahead. Can you get the Saturday results
I
there?
try to read it here with my on my tiny screen here. But
somebody forgot to print the I'll take the hit for that
take
one.
the hit,
That was me.
Anyway, but I can't see. We had good success Friday. Saturday, the volleyball had their tournament here. 8A won 3-0 to claim the tournament championship. They beat Waco Tennyson 2-0, beat Whitney 2-0, and beat Lampasas 2-0. 8B was 2-0 to claim their tournament championship, beating Brownwood 2-0, beating Lampasas 2-0. 7A went 2-1 to win the consolation championship. They lost to Waco Tennyson 1-2. But they did beat Conley and Brownwood, which anytime you can beat those two is a great day.
Good day, great day.
7B went 1-1 to win the consolation championship. They unfortunately lost to Brownwood, but they did beat Conley 2-0 in their sets. Sub-varsity in the West tournament they played. JV beat Riesel 2-0, but lost to Bicycle 0-2. And then 9th beat Riesel 2-0 and lost to Cameron 0-2. So that was Saturday's
volleyball
results.
Saturday.
A lot of volleyball.
Yeah.
Saturday. And then back at it Monday with junior high volleyball. Gatesville Junior High went up against China Spring. 8th A lost 0-2. 7th A lost 1-2. and 7th B lost 0-2, and 8th B. So junior high had a rough night Monday night.
Yeah.
But it's all experience building, getting up there to that varsity team that has a couple of decade-long history
Playoff
of making it
streak,
a playoff streak. Tuesday night,
we're back once again back at it. Football, JV,
7B.
7B. They
Played a
lost to
tough one
Brownwood.
last night. They played a tough one.
Obviously, able to get some on the board. Lost 22-14 against Brownwood. Brownwood's always a competitor. Tennis JV lost to Groesbeck 14-7. Varsity girls, though, they went the distance. Had to go all 5 sets, winning 3-2 last night against Troy. To win that in 3-2. GHS is now 18-9 for the season. They'll host Whitney on Friday and Gerald next Tuesday. The squad's final 2 matches before the start of the district play at Waco Connolly on September 27th. We will be broadcasting that game next Tuesday on
Yes.
Warner Radio.
Boom.
So we'll be back with volleyball. In other news, and this sounds so weird to be saying this right now, but October 23rd, the boys basketball will be starting their workouts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
That's whenever Hornet Radio will start being traveling all over the place, doing all kinds of crazy
Literally.
stuff. And the girls basketball starts October 16th. So look for those on the schedule. Those will be coming out in the winter schedule, and I'll be working on getting that up on the website for everybody to see that coming soon. So that is our sports news for this week.
Bam.
A lot of it.
And now wrapping up with the Mahia game. We had a great outing, really good bounce back game.
Yep.
I think as a coach, you like to have those games whenever you unfortunately drop one. You like to see the resilience and see how you come back in the next week.
Well, that was a challenge, like I say on here all the time. We got to learn from us from the Glen Rose game, and then the next opponent didn't matter. We just got to focus on what we do and how we do it. And so, proud of our guys. They responded, had some lulls there in a little bit and gave them some life, but in the end ended up coming out and putting them away. And a good, tough win on the road. So anytime you go on the road and win, it's a good win.
And win in fashion,
Yeah.
They dominated the entire game.
Yeah. Well,
You
let's say
mentioned-
down.
I
We
said,
got
well,
it.
okay, I was about to.
We got a minute where we struggled a little bit.
Had to backtrack. We
Yeah.
you're often mentioned winning the middle 8.
Yep, we did not
And,
win the middle 8.
You won the second half of the middle 8.
Yeah.
But that first half of the middle 8, I'm not gonna lie, was ugly, Coach.
It was.
I
It was
got-
bad.
I got scared for a second.
Hey, that was the you had the halftime speech right there. It's like, guys, we are not winning the middle 8 right now. We got to come out and win the middle 8. And Ray came out in the third. We're driving and he ends up fumbling. And luckily our defense comes up with a big stop. And we stopped the momentum. But yeah, we definitely got to work on that. Got to work on finishing the second quarter and then starting the third.
You mentioned that right there, and I mentioned it on the Friday's game. To me, it just speaks to what you're doing with our young man here in Gatesville.
Yeah.
The defense, whenever they, obviously the fumble, that's a momentum. It just hurts.
Yeah.
Defense went out there and did their job, 3 and out. Whenever they came off the field, I don't know if you noticed this, but obviously you probably weren't because you're doing your thing.
Right.
I think half those guys, defensive guys, whenever they came off the field, were patting Rayshawn on the back, on the top of the helmet. Kind of like, hey, we got you, we did it. Don't worry about it. You did the fumble, no big deal.
Yeah.
It was encouraging to see that. I mean, there was no
Pointing fingers,
pointing
something
fingers,
like that. No,
we did our
yeah.
job. So that was very encouraging to see that kind of sportsmanship.
Yeah, we preach that all the time. Everybody's going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And there may be some nights you win the game 50-51, and maybe some nights you win the game 3-0. But the most important thing we got to do is try to find a way to have one more point than they do. And our guys have that mentality, and I wouldn't expect anything less. So,
I'll tell you one thing that I enjoyed about the game is, we got to see Cy Burns in the first half.
Yeah.
Saw Rayshawn in the second half. I think that it was probably a big shock to Mahia to try to figure out Cy Burns in that first half.
No, it was. And like I said, I'm glad Cy finally had his moment because we tried to get him in, but Ray's running the ball so well. And so for Cy to have that first half and have that success like he did, it was real big. And he took the big hit there. We got worried about him for a little bit because he took that big hit. That was a big hit by that guy from Hay. Good play by him.
Yeah,
It smoked him, man.
decleated him. The helmet was off.
It was
He
bad.
took a lick.
It was bad. But he's a tough kid, and he works out all the time, and he's strong. He's small, but he's strong and he's explosive.
Yeah.
But no, didn't get ready the second half, and Ray is just a.
Well, I think as far as game film and stuff, we just gave the teams that are coming up something whole new to look at.
Yeah.
They thought they were all prepared for one running back, and now you showed them, hey, you know what? I got a double-headed snake.
Well,
back
we
here.
actually got a stable, and those two guys have gotten the main carries. But, Dylan Watts takes carries for us every day, and Xavier Clater's one that can always go back there and run. But we got to build that room because that's who we are. Our identity is run the ball, and so we try to build that room. And we got some young backs too. I mean, you look at every grade. If you guys get to watch a JV Black game, Trey Howard is absolutely tearing it up down there.
I saw him the other day.
It's
impressive.
nuts. Some of his runs are just it's impressive. And so Coach Woods, the running back coach we hired this year, is doing a great job. And just to see that. Now, the two fumbles I don't like. We got to fix the two fumbles from both those guys. But, they've had a hard week of work, and we're excited to go attack the Dogs.
I'm good. It was nice to see, obviously our impact players, a couple different guys here.
Yeah.
Friday night's game showed that as well. Defense, there were numerous players that were stepping up, getting off blocks, making tackles. To find it, to whittle it down to just the impact players we had here tonight was actually kind of tough. Because like I said, there is a lot of movement there. It's not just, in the years past, one or two players that you can be like, okay, those are your defensive standout every game. But
well, no, and I told y'all last week, Mahia is a very explosive team, and very rarely did you see one guy making a tackle. We were swarming that night. They were swarming. They had some big backs. They're strong. They're physical. And, you look at those backs versus our guys, the size advantage is definitely their backs. And so I love how our guys are flying around. And we preach, and Coach Aguirre preaches, our defensive staff, 11 hats to the ball. And you saw that Friday. There were very few plays that one guy made the tackle.
Oh, absolutely. I think there was one, we even commented on the game. There was one tackle that everybody was in on the tackle. We didn't know who it was. There were 9 guys there. The only 2 that weren't in were the 2 outside corners. So everybody else was on top of it. So
I think that was only because it was a little bit further for them to run.
That was it.
No, you guys got it.
That was it.
We're going to cover the receivers next play, but anyway, fantastic win in Mahia.
Yeah.
On the road, and weather was nice.
It
wasn't too bad. It was another nice night out there for the Hornets.
They redid their stands. Those were nice.
Man, how can we get some of that?
That's what I'm saying.
Covered. Those are stands that fans can sit in whenever it's raining. And
that's right.
Not have to worry about that. The only thing that clear anybody out was the good old lightning and thunder. That'll run folks off. But so that wraps up last week. This week we'll be coming home. It's homecoming. A lot of events been going on this week. A lot of fun activities for all the students at school preparing for homecoming. I just got the itinerary emailed over to me from Coach Phillips there, letting us know what's going on. But
lots going on.
homecoming's always an exciting time, and it's always one of those games that you want to go out there and get.
You do. And we got to, we've acknowledged last year, obviously, because last year I think this was our worst game we played. I don't know if it was the homecoming. McGregor just outplayed us last year, and so we talked about that earlier this week. But like I say, every week it goes back to us and how we practice, how we prepare, and our guys have had a good week of work. And I'm excited to see them go to work Friday.
So what are we looking at Friday? McGregor typically is not an air raid type offense, so they're going to be pounding the ball.
No, they do. They do a little bit of both. They got a new coach this year. Coach Watt came in from Klein Kane. Okay. So he's the offensive coordinator down in Klein, at Houston School. And he's done a great job. They do a little bit of everything. They got a quarterback that can run and throw it, and they run him a lot. And they got a couple backs that can run the ball. They're really big up front on both sides of the ball. And so they kind of do whatever they need to do to win. If they need to throw a little bit, they can. They put up 50, 60 points on Groesbeck earlier this year. And then if they need to run it, they can do that as well. So we got to work it out for us. And they're the type of team that if you don't fit runs right, they can get you. So when you run counter and you pull 2 guys to a side of the ball, which we do a lot offensively, you get numbers and you got to fit things right. And so we've been working on fits all week and making sure our guys are ready to play. And I think they are. I think they're ready to go play. So.
Well, I'm making a prediction for homecoming night. I know that.
That makes me nervous.
No. This is on the fun side.
Gotcha.
A lot of the folks that get to watch, they get to hear about this and everything. But Adam Fitzer, the meme king, I'm more than sure Friday night he's already got a meme with a dog catcher or something ready to go.
Ready to go.
Oh my gosh,
I got you.
He has them coming in nonstop.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to an exciting homecoming game. It's always a wonderful time in Gatesville.
Big rivalry game.
Yeah, big rivalry.
Us and McGregor. That's one thing I noticed. Used to be by your wife's office. There's a football from like 1940 something. It's
still in there.
It's written in like fingernail polish to score Gatesville McGregor. It's an old ball. So, I mean, there's a lot of history there. That's what Coach Watt said. He said he decided to play this game when he got the job. He called me, and he said, man, how close as we are and the games that have been played between these two schools, a lot of fun.
Yeah, now the head coach at McGregor has been there 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't been there long. You know? Yeah.
I emailed him and, got a little info and stuff whenever I got the roster from him and everything, and a special thank you to him for responding so
awesome
quickly.
Guy.
A lot of coaches, it takes a little work for me to get information and everything else, but he responded during the Cowboys game, obviously, because there wasn't nothing to watch. But anyway,
there it is.
I'm a Cowboys fan through and through, but man, whenever you got two of the highest paid players in the NFL in your offense,
you're gonna upset Mr. Christian over here. He may come across the street. He's an avid Cowboy fan.
I am too, man, but it just hurts, you know. Anyway, with that being said, we're approaching the end of the show here, and I just wanted to let this know we've had a few messages come in, and folks, I hate to bust your bubble, but it's not Cotton Davidson.
That's what I said. That's what I
kind of figured that was good, and I want to give props. That trivia question, is courtesy of our athletic director,
Chris Phillips.
Yeah, I reached out to him and I said, hey, I want one to really make people think.
Yeah.
I want them to have to dig in the archives and stuff, and that was the one he came up with me.
It's
and
a good one.
I messaged him back, and I was like, whoa,
it's a good one.
That's a
It's
good
a
one.
good one.
So, with that being said, we're getting ready to wrap up the show tonight, but keep those answers coming in. You can text them in, 254-216-3574. I'm still looking for the first correct answer.
We still don't even have a one right?
No, we do not have a right answer. These tickets right here are premium for Friday night. But with that being said, we're going to get
got a
Coach
question?
Yeah, just
come on.
No, it's not really a question tonight. It's more or less
NIL, transfer portal, what's next?
Well, I was wanting to go transfer portal, but he's got a better one than I was thinking.
No. Tonight we'd just like to hear, a story. I guess this story could kind of be matched up with, a football coach and his players, following directions type thing.
Yeah.
So, the Hunter family vacation.
Yeah.
Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Oh man, how'd you get all this information?
So you're traveling. Dad tells you to stay in the car while he puts the snow chains on.
Didn't listen to Dad.
Take over from there.
Yeah, listen to Dad. It was a great family vacation that we were on as a Hunter family, and he's put snow chains on, and he said stay in the car. So as a kid, you get antsy, and so I just went to open the door. Well, by the time I did, he's head down in the chains. I smoked him right in the head. So when I tell you I shut the door and I locked it about as fast as I could, I did. And so,
I mean, your dad's not a little man either.
No, and our mom made the comment. He just took off walking. One moment says to Dad, you just walk away. And he walked away. And our mom turned around and she goes, y'all may not want to get out of the car. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. So we just kind of sat there. It was bad. It ended up being a pretty crazy vacation. It was like that vacation we talk about all the time. Everybody gets sick, like the cabin we stayed in wasn't ready and had holes in the wall. It was like the blizzard of the century. It was just, there was not, the Hunters realized that vacation, we were not winter people. So, I'm sure they find it.
Everybody needs a National Lampoon's
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Everybody needs one.
Could have been a great movie. It would have been a great movie. I'm telling you.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
I want to know
Hunter style.
Who got you that information. Somebody's giving me some dirt.
I do not reveal my sources.
Yeah, somebody's giving some dirt. That's funny. That's good stuff.
All right. Yeah, we talked that over. Thought that would be a really
good one.
A really good, funny one for
really
tonight.
Good one. Yeah, it's a true story. Popped him right in the head.
And locked the door.
Locked it quick, man. Shut it, lock it. Didn't know what was going to happen.
All right, folks. You can rewind this and watch it as many times as you want because that's some funny stuff right there. Anyway, as always, Coach, thanks for joining us. We look forward to the game Friday nights here in Gatesville because the lights are a little bit brighter.
Yeah, they're going to be bright.
Yeah, and it's homecoming night, so don't forget that. Rewind, get the question, get the answers, text them in, get the tickets.
I can be bought off. I'm just saying.
There we go.
Listen at him.
I'm not. There's no shame in my game.
I can be bribed. Propino's accepted there.
Yeah.
All right. On behalf of the whole crew